If you're looking for a breakthrough in a situation where you feel lost and confused and stuck, I hope this video might be useful for you. My name's Jo, I'm a tarot reader, and I really want to make the tarot something that is useful because tarot can also be a trap. Tarot can also be that circling around in YouTube looking for readings that are going to give us scraps of hope in a situation that our intuition knows full well is not going anywhere. I know that's hard to hear, but I think if when I said that you had feeling of recognition, then this video is for you. And that sounds dark. I'm sorry. But sometimes we really need to face those things. And my God, afterwards, there is such a liberation. So I'm going to share with you a set of cards that I got during a reading that I was doing for a friend a couple of years ago, and how that summer, actually, in the summer of 23, tarot actually did change my life. It opened my eyes. Obviously I've been doing some work, behind the scenes, but finally the cards shouted loud enough and I was receptive enough and I was like, "Oh, okay. Yes, and now I know what I need to do." So I'm going to show you a set of cards and I'm going to talk you through what I understood from them. And I'm hoping that at the end of this reading, if you're feeling stuck, confused, or lost, particularly in terms of your relationship, that there's going to be, if not a huge breakthrough, just that sense of more light being there and getting closer to the step that you know you need to take. Okay, I've got one more big hard truth before we get into the cards. Have you gone to a tarot reader or an astrologer or used cards yourself or done some means of divination, or even if you haven't done any of those things, you've gone to a group of friends and you've asked them this question: how does this person feel about me? What do you think is going to happen in my relationship with X? Right. If you've done that, but this person is, one, alive, two, has a working telephone, three, can be reached either by some form of internet communication or face to face, and you're not asking them directly this question, why is that? Why can't you just ask them how they feel about you? Why are you going to a tarot reader? That is a confronting question, and it's meant to be. Here are some reasons why you might not do it. One, you don't think they will give you a truthful answer. Two, asking that question will in some way cause the relationship to cease. Or three, asking the question about how they feel will cause huge strain in a relationship that is already stressful enough. What does it mean? So let's talk about this card, which is the Justice card. Now, at first, when I was doing a reading for a friend who was in exactly this situation, I got the Justice card, and as a reader, it was tempting to say, at last, you're going to get what is just. You're going to feel like, things are going to be put right. Things are going to be put in their place. For all the effort you've put in, you're going to get your just rewards. But I really didn't feel that that was the right answer. And then I understood that it was her sense of justice, and it had been mine when I'd been in the same situation. That is, that when we've now, there's a term, sunken costs, and that sounds very economical. I've put in this much and therefore I should get this much out. But I was thinking of this on a more metaphysical plane. As in, I, like many other people, and there are people who don't believe this, but I do, believe that justice is an intrinsic element of our reality. I believe that it exists as a force. It doesn't necessarily conform to human time, and it doesn't always appear in ways that we recognize, but I believe that it does act. And sometimes I think that when we are in a situation with somebody where we've suffered a lot, where we've had to use our patience, where we've invested a lot of time and effort and emotion, and sometimes financial resources, we feel that we need to be repaid for that. But in this deeper sense, as in, if this does not happen, the universe will not be just. There's a sense almost of a metaphysical and ontological risk that you're facing. This must work out as proof to me that the universe is just. Sometimes, unfortunately, we can continue to believe in justice, but we must separate that from a specific situation that we're in and recognize that perhaps our attachment to justice is clouding our perception of a situation. That's one thought. Another card that I got was the Ace of Coins. Now, it wasn't actually this deck, but the Ace of Coins represents a material opportunity. And there's always a stress with the Ace of Coins on new beginnings, new financial opportunities, and so on. But I saw it as something else here. When we think about the number one, we think about, beginnings, but also singularity and uniqueness, as in, there is only one of these things. And if there is only one of these things, then how much more important does it get? Because we're also looking at our value system. Now, as somebody who has Venus in Scorpio in the second house, I think I know something about messed up value systems and really being unaware of how my value systems could be leading me astray. In any case, the idea that this person might be bound up with your sense of justice and also appear to you as the unique opportunity life is offering you, how much more important is it going to seem? Another card that came up in this reading was the Five of Pentacles. And the Five of Pentacles usually represents financial hardship and difficulty. Now, of course, in some relationships that you are entangled in, ending the relationship does mean facing financial hardship, when you have splitting of assets and so on. But it can also be figurative. It can also be a scarcity mindset. Remember, we've just seen the Ace of Coins. There's only one of these. There's only one valuable person out there. There's just one. And so therefore, if I lose them, I have nothing. I am cast out. I am alone. I am mourning on the hillside. Now, what's interesting is that this is a love reading with no cups. No cups, because actually what I was starting to get the idea was that the emotion was hardwired in to a value system which gives the idea that you are dependent on something outside, and without that, you will be in serious loss mode. You will be cast out. And that unexamined belief, it's my cat purring, that unexamined belief can hold you into a situation for years that is actually a situation of poverty and lack, but it's emotional poverty and lack. So, a couple more coins cards, and then I'm going to get on to the antidotes. Right. So, one more coins card that came up, which is the Six of Pentacles. Now, without getting into the whole kind of emotional accountant energy of I texted you 5 times and you only texted me one, or this kind of thing, you have an innate sense of whether there is a balanced flow of energy between two people, whether somebody's in beggar mode and having to show gratitude for scraps, or just basically, are people getting their needs met? Is it fair? And is there a sense of balance? And I think everybody understands that, for example, in a couple, there could be a period where one person's working 3 jobs and the other one's studying, and they're taking on more weight and they're doing more work, but it's for a finite period, and that has been agreed to, and there is an objective, and there is a plan as a couple. I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about that sense of whether there is just a reciprocal flow, there is a back and forth, there is an equality of give and receive. The moon card really often comes up in this kind of reading as well, because the moon is our inability to see clearly. Now we have the Eight of Swords as well, but being a major arcana card, that is a more intense energy. And I would also say it is a fated energy. You are lost so that you can be found. So all of this wandering, it will add up to something. Your faith in justice is not misplaced, but the outcome is just maybe not something that you can see yet. And courage is so important with the moon card, because you have to walk past the wolf. And you also need to see in which ways you are too domesticated and too tame. The way in which you will sit when somebody tells you to sit, and you will come when somebody calls you to heel. Maybe the wolf is actually the beast who you need to listen to, rather than the domesticated dog. All right, a couple more cards for contrast. So we've already taken a look at our Ace of Coins card, filling the sky with its big golden promise of what you're going to get. And then I want you to take a look at the Ace of Cups card. Now look at the Ace of Cups. There is a flow, there is an ease with it. Things feel natural. You remember how it feels to be in flow, or if you swim, when you really get into the stroke, when you really feel like you're moving in the water in an optimum way, when you're getting your fish energy on. And the Ace of Cups, there are no questions with the Ace of Cups. You don't like, oh, is this right or not? You have an innate knowing. You're in it. You're living it. You're living a heart connection. And this is a fixed energy. It is an energy that is useful when you're going after stuff, when you're going after getting a new car or a new home or a new job. It's not the right energy for a human relationship. At the same time, let me show you how these two cards echo between them. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and this bear, there, the mama bear protecting her one unique opportunity. And we've also got the rebirth card, which is like the judgment card, I believe, in it's card 20, yeah. And it's like you got to get through to go through. Almost this is an opportunity, but it's an opportunity to come out and wake up to some aspect about yourself and to be born again. And I'm going to give you the Sun card as an antidote. Energy and life and renewal are yours as your birthright. They don't require you to do anything other than to know that. So disconnect from an exterior power source that is not powering you up and is in fact draining you, and connect with the sun. Connect with the idea that what you're going through now is a pathway, and a pathway to greater light, as is every human experience when it's alchemized correctly. All right, I think that's all I've got to say. It's quite a long video. I want to leave you with this card, and with a promise that there really is and can be a better tomorrow, because I've been where you are now and I'm not there now. I have broken away from ties to draining situations that didn't bring anything. And the tarot partly helped me get there, but I did get lost for a while in the seeking for signs, lost in the forest of signs, seeking for signs that were going to tell me that I was going to get what I wanted. But I got what I needed.